Say explicitly on camera that texts in the title refers to how the alerts function via push notification, and show the one legitimate way to get literal SMS if you want to promise that specifically. Do not imply ChatGPT natively sends SMS if it doesn't, as this will visibly fail for viewers who try it and hurt trust. Every Sunday at 9 a.m., my phone buzzes with a message. It's not my bank, it's not an app I pay for, it's ChatGPT, checking in on my money like a coach who actually remembers what we talked about last week. Quick honesty check before we start, because I don't want you disappointed halfway through this video. This isn't ChatGPT literally sending you a text message from a phone number. It's a push notification that shows up exactly like one. Same buzz. Same lock screen banner, same feeling of something just came in for me. I'll also show you later in this video the one legitimate way to make it an actual SMS text if that's what you specifically want. By the end of this, you'll have a recurring automatic financial check-in running on autopilot. One you build once, today, in about 15 minutes. Let's start with the honest version of what we're building, because that's what makes this actually work long-term instead of breaking after week 2. Section number 1, what this system actually is and isn't. OpenAI has a feature inside ChatGPT called Scheduled Tasks. It lets you tell ChatGPT in plain English to run a prompt automatically on a recurring schedule, and it notifies you when it's done. This is not the same as a custom app, and it's not a real financial advisor. It's a recurring prompt you write once that fires off automatically and delivers a result to your phone or inbox. Think of it less like hiring someone and more like setting an alarm clock that happens to be really good at math and writing. A few real limits worth knowing up front. This feature is only on paid ChatGPT plans, not the free tier. It runs on a schedule you set. At a minimum, roughly once an hour if you wanted it that frequent, but realistically, for this use case, once a week is exactly right. And if you go quiet and never interact with it, tasks can pause themselves. So this isn't fully set and forget forever. It wants a little bit of your attention to keep going. None of that is a deal breaker. It just means we're building something real, not something magic. Let's set it up. Section number 2, setting up your first scheduled check-in. You can create a task 2 ways, through the dedicated scheduled page or by just asking ChatGPT directly in a normal chat. I'll show you the direct ask method first because it's the fastest. That confirmation is important. Go check the scheduled page and make sure it actually shows up there with the right day and time. This is the same place you'll come back to if you ever want to pause, edit, or delete it. One setup step people skip and regret: notifications. If your notifications aren't turned on for ChatGPT, this Sunday message will just sit there quietly, and you'll never know it arrived. Turn on push notifications right now, on both your phone and browser if you use both. This is the single most common reason people think this doesn't work. It worked, they just never saw it. Section number 3, writing a prompt that feels like a real coach. The prompt I just showed you works, but it's a rough draft. Let's make it actually good, because the difference between a generic check-in and one that feels personal is entirely in how you write it. Generic prompts get generic coaching. Here's the upgraded version. See the difference? I gave it my actual situation, the debt number, the specific habit I'm working on. Now every single week, it's not asking generic questions. It's checking in on my actual pattern. That 150 words limit in the prompt matters more than it looks like it should. A coach who sends you a wall of text every Sunday gets ignored by week 3. Short, specific, honest, that's what actually gets read. Section number 4, making IT text-like, notifications as real SMS. Let's address the title directly. For most people, the push notification is genuinely enough. It looks and feels exactly like a text on your lock screen. No setup required beyond what we just did. But if you specifically want an actual SMS, a real text message, from a real phone number, that works even if your ChatGPT notifications are off. That requires one extra piece, a no-code automation tool that bridges the two. The general shape of this, and I want to be upfront that the exact setup steps change as these tools update. So treat this as the concept and check current instructions on whichever tool you use. Your scheduled tasks result gets sent to an automation platform, which then triggers a text messaging service actually to send you an SMS. Notice I asked for the concept, not exact click-by-click steps, because those interfaces change constantly, and I'd rather you understand the shape of it and look up today's actual steps than follow instructions from a video that might be stale by the time you watch it. For 90% of people, honestly, skip this section entirely and just use the push notification. It's simpler, it's free, and it does the same emotional job. Section number 5, making the coach smarter every week. Here's the last piece, and it's the one that separates "I set this up once" from "this is actually part of my life 6 months from now." Because this runs inside a chat, it can reference what you told it before, if you keep it in the same conversation thread. That means by week 8, it's not asking generic questions anymore. It actually knows your patterns. That's a genuinely different insight than anything a static budgeting app gives you, because it's built from your actual answers over time, not just your transaction data. One maintenance note. Remember, these tasks can pause if you go quiet, so even a short reply back some weeks, even just "skip this week," keeps it active instead of silently stopping on you. Let's recap. 1. Understood what this system actually is. A scheduled prompt, not a real advisor. 2. Set up your first recurring Sunday check-in. 3. Wrote a prompt with real context so it feels like a real coach. 4. Knew the honest difference between notifications and real SMS. 5. Set it up to get smarter and reference your actual patterns over time. This costs you 15 minutes once, and then it just runs. If you build one thing from this whole channel, I'd genuinely start with this one. It's the lowest effort, most consistent habit builder in this entire series. The exact prompts from today are in the free download below. And if you haven't seen the personal finance AI video yet, that one pairs perfectly with this. Go set that system up next, then let this one keep it running every week.